So today what we're going to be working on is what makes a fraction undefined. So put me on pause, try this, and the first couple, 1 and 2, you could just use your calculator to evaluate. 3 and 4, use what you got for 1 and 2 to figure out what comes for 3 and 4, and then come back and check your answers. Okay, so number 1, we have 0 over 5. So when we have 0 over 5, if you plug that in your calculator, you will get 0 as an answer. All right, take a look at number 2. We have 5 over 0. Now, when you plug that in your calculator, you get an error. Right? When you plug this in, you get an error. So it's not really an error. I mean, it is an error. The reason why you get that error is because you can't have 0 in the denominator of a fraction. That is called undefined. So when there's a 0 in the denominator, it's undefined. You can't divide by a 0. Doesn't make sense. Okay, so let's take a look at number 3. So yeah, number 3, you can't plug this into your calculator, but knowing what we got over here, when we have 0 divided by a number, we get 0. So who cares what's in the bottom? If I have 0 in the numerator, in the top, I know 0 divided by whatever this is going to be equal to 0. Okay, let's take a look at number 4. I have something divided by 0. Now remember, we just said when we plug this into the calculator, 5 divided by 0, we got an error. It's called undefined because you can't divide by 0. So anytime you have 0 in the denominator like this, who cares what's in the numerator? I don't care what's up here. When 0 is in the denominator, it is undefined. Okay, so we're going to talk about today is determining for what value of x or the unknown will make the fraction undefined. So we know undefined, right, is when the denominator is equal to 0. That's what undefined means. When the denominator of the fraction is equal to 0. So to figure that out, all you have to do is take the denominator, set the denominator, we're talking about the bottom, equal to 0, and then you solve for the unknown. You might have to factor, depending on what type of denominator you have, okay? But it's really that simple. Just take the denominator, set it equal to 0. Remember, undefined means when the denominator is equal to 0. We don't care about what's in the numerator. All right, take a look at number 1. We have 3 plus x over 4x. Who cares what's up top? I don't care what's up here. I just want to know for what value of x will make the fraction undefined. So take the denominator 4x and set it equal to 0. Now solve for x. So divide both sides by 4. X equals 0 divided by 4 is 0. So when x is 0, the fraction is undefined. All right, number 2, we have 4x over x plus 4. Remember, I don't care what's up top. I just want to make the bottom equal to 0. So I take the denominator, x plus 4, and I set it equal to 0. And then solve it. Minus 4, x equals negative 4. So when x equals negative 4, the fraction is undefined. Okay, let's take a look at number 3. So again, I have x plus 2 up top. I don't care about what's up top. And 6x plus 18 in the denominator. So I'm going to take the denominator, 6x plus 18, and set it equal to 0. So I'm going to minus 18. If you want, you know what we could do? Let's factor this one because there is a GCF. You could add minus 18 divided by 6. But you know what? Let's factor. The GCF is 6. So it's 6 times x plus 3. This will get us back into factoring. All right, then we make our t-chart, set each one equal to 0. We set 6 equal to 0. That doesn't make sense, so I cross it off. If there was an x there, then I would have to do a little bit more. X plus 3 equals 0, minus 3. When x is equal to negative 3, the fraction is undefined. Okay, let's take a look at number 4. We have x squared plus 3 over 3x squared plus 10x plus 3. So again, we want to know when the fraction is undefined. So I take the denominator, 3x squared plus 10x plus 3, and I set it equal to 0. Now I notice that this is a trinomial, so I'm going to have to do master product. So I multiply the first times the last. 3x squared times 3 is positive 9x squared. So what multiplies to 9 adds to 10? What numbers multiply to 9 adds to 10? 9x and 1x, right? They add to 10x, and they multiply to 9x squared. Now, when I multiply 9 times 1, it has to give me positive 9. So it have to be the same signs, but when I add them, it has to give me positive 10. So it has to be plus plus. Okay, bring down the ends. Still equal to 0. And now we have 4 terms. Remember, 4 terms we factor by grouping. All right, in the first group, the GCF is 3x times x plus 3. In the second group, I know there's a plus there, so I put the plus. GCF is 1 times x plus 3, still equal to 0. Okay, so my factors are 3x plus 1 and x plus 3 equals 0. Now remember, to finish this up, we make the t-chart. Set each one equal to 0. 3x plus 1 equals 0. So this one's going to have 2 answers. X plus 3 equals 0. Now solve it. Minus 1. 3x equals negative 1. Divide by 3. X equals negative 1/3. So there's one answer. Minus 3. X equals negative 3. So this fraction will be undefined if my x is negative 3 or if my x is negative 1/3. So that's it, and we'll practice some more in class. Everybody have a good day. See you tomorrow.